Welcome to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball here in Hobbs, welcoming the Artesia Lady Bulldogs to the house. I'm Dawn Morgan. Thank you for listening this afternoon. We just had the playing of the national anthem and the announcement of the teams. They are on the field. Hobbs getting ready to start this game. Pitcher taking her warm-up pitches, and I believe I'm seeing that it's Kaya Boyle who is the starting pitcher for Hobbs today. We'll talk about who's in the field. Let's talk about who's at bat. Coming up, your first hitter will be number 13, Riley Crandall for the Lady Bulldogs. Number 2 is Kenna Morrison. By the way, Riley Crandall, your leadoff hitter, is also the pitcher for Artesia. Batting second is number 2, Kenna Morrison, your center fielder. Batting third is number 24, Caden Apodaca, your first baseman. Batting fourth is Zoe Warren, your right fielder. Batting fifth is number 15, Bubba Aguilar, your catcher. Batting sixth is number 7, KJ Ray, your third baseman. And batting seventh is number 12, Kenzie Carlo, your shortstop for Artesia. And batting eighth is McKaylee Morian, who is a second baseman. And batting ninth is number 14, Jenna Whitmore, your left fielder. That's the batting order for Artesia. Pitching is Kaya Boyle. And catching is Anaya Rodriguez. And Garcia is on first, Young on second, Harrison on third, Cantu at short, Souter in left, Ralston in center, Chavez in right. The first pitch is in, and it is a strike. So 0-1 is the count on Riley Crandall, your leadoff hitter. She bats from the left. And second pitch is going to come in high for ball number 2. So your count is even at 1-1. All right, so the count is now 2-0. So, or 2-1 rather. 2-1. Oh, nice pitch. Caught the outside corner. A little heat on that as well. So Kaya has evened up the count. Now 2-2. Kaya works pretty quickly. And she's got some nice heat and some... Oh, that's going to be just a little low. So that runs the count full. So 3-2 is the count on the leadoff batter for Artesia, Riley Crandall. Of course, she's the first batter up. Nobody on, nobody out. When a slap way out in center field, it's a solid one. Oh, and Ralston reaches up at the fence, has to reach up, can't hold on to it. It was at the end of her glove, and so I am not going to call that an error. She reached as far as she could, hit the top of her glove, she hit the fence, and that is going to be a double for Riley Crandall, the leadoff batter. And there will be, I believe, a courtesy runner. Yes, there will be. Nope, Riley Crandall, she's going back, so she will, after a solid hit right at the fence, she is on second base, bringing up number 2, Kenna Morrison, the center fielder, a right-handed batter. She lays down a bunt, but it goes foul. So that will simply be strike 1, 0-1. No outs. We are here in the top of the first inning. No score. Runner in scoring position for Artesia, though, as Crandall is on second after a leadoff standoff double. So your count 1-0 on Morrison, or 0-1 rather. That strike. She did not pull the bat back. That was definitely a strike. So 0-2 is the count on Morrison now. She was going to slap a bunt down, and it was a high pitch, and she didn't get the bat back in time. So 0-2 is the count. Beautiful afternoon here. A cut, swing and a miss. It was a really nice pitch. Coming in, right waist high. And Morrison took a good cut at it, but fouled it back to the right. Count remains 0-2. She's definitely in plate protection mode here. Kaya Boyle on the mound for Hobbs. Another swing and fouled it back. So your catcher is Rodriguez. We'll talk about I set the field for you, but we'll talk about the first names of those players and set the batting lineup when Hobbs comes up to bat. This pitch, again, fouled back. Morrison's hanging tough at the bat, and Kaya Boyle is hanging tough on the mound, varying her speeds a little bit, throwing some different pitches. I've noticed her ball has a lot of spin on it. And I think that plus varying the speed is keeping Morrison from being able to really get a handle on it. The Hobbs dugout and the Hobbs faithful saw that from their angle. And from their angle, it certainly looked like a good pitch. We could see from here that was a ball. A little high, a little outside. Otherwise, a really fine pitch. Now this is going to... Boyle took a little off that. I think she was throwing a change-up, little change speed pitch, but it hung up a little too high. So 2-2 is the count. Even here, again, no score, top of the first. Artesia up at bat. Crandall sitting out on second after a leadoff double. And another swing and a foul. Out of play, well off to the right. Morrison just missing it, just missing getting really solid wood on it. Again, a lot of spin on that by Boyle, and she's varying the speed. So Morrison hanging tough, keeping up with it, getting a little bit of it. Boyle wants to get her out, and it's hit, well hit, high, pop, fly. It could be trouble. It is. It's going to land in no man's land out there. Second base, center, and right field, all right there. But it was one of those high pops. It was a little hard to judge. Young was going back for it, and it just ended up falling. So I'm just going to have to call that an outfield as just a hit, and it will be a single as Crandall moves to third. And Morrison, it's a single, and she went to second during the confusion in the outfield. So we're going to call that a single with Morrison on second, Crandall on third, number 24, Caden Apodaca, your first baseman, up to bat. And the first pitch is fouled back. Oh, this is going to be low and inside. It's 1-1. Yeah, first one was a strike, foul back. So 1-1 on this batter. Apodaca, your first baseman for Artesia, runners in scoring positions. And way out in front of that, Apodaca was waiting. Boyle took a little bit off of that. Apodaca slammed it over there to the left. A foul out of play for strike number 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Apodaca. Hobbs really working on trying to get at least their first out here, and they're going to be working to try to cut the lead runner off if they can, if there's a hit. And there is a hit. I think it's out of the park. It's going, and yes, it is gone, as that just had home run written all over it from the minute it left the bat. She just got a real bead on that. Apodaca with a 3-run home run. 3 RBI, home run, out of the park, cleaned off the bases, and still no outs. So Hobbs just needs to take a breath, reset, and it'll be number 8, Zoe Warren, the right fielder who comes up to bat next. Artesia now with a 3-run lead. As I adjust the score bug.
Now batting, Zoe Warren.
So 3-0, top of the first, no outs. Zoe Warren up to bat. Count is fresh for her. And it's a grounder. Heads over to Young. She picks it up, bobbles it momentarily, and then makes a throw. And they're going to say, and it's Garcia did a nice job to dig that out. So first out, 4-2, as she recovered from the bobble, and Garcia was able to hang on to that. So 1 out. Nobody on. Number 15, Bubba Aguilera, the catcher, is up to bat. So 1 out. First pitch is in. Oh, it's a sizzler, but it's a little low. So ball number 1. So 1-0 on Aguilera, the catcher. Boyle took a different tack with that. Just hung up just a little bit. Too high, so ball number 2. It's pretty good speed on it. Good pop in the glove. Just needs to bring that down a bit. So 2-0 on Bubba Aguilar. And nope, the umpire says it was 2 outside. So some of the Hobbs faithful you could hear thought that caught the corner. Ump said it was outside. 3-0 the count. You got to feel like Aguilar has the take sign. And that is going to catch the inside corner. Aguilar watched it. She crouched. She wanted to. And I think she's definitely playing the percentages on that. 3-1 the count now. Nice pitch by Boyle. Throwing the strike when she had to. And this one is a solid pitch, but it's a solid hit, and it's going to be picked up. Cantu did a nice job catching that kind of with the glove sort of behind her back on the run, knocked it down. Of course, not in time, nothing she could do about that. It is a single, puts Aguilar on first.
Now batting, KJ Ray.
Played and stopped about as well as you can, but there was no time for a throw. Number 7, KJ Ray, your third baseman, up to bat. 3-0 is the count. She smacks the first one she sees, going back to the fence, and it's out of the park. I really thought that was going to drop just inside the fence. And tell you what, Chavez was right there, shielding her eyes and waiting for it right with her back against the fence, but it did go over that right field fence. So another home run, and that's going to be a 2-run homer. And clean off the bases once again, brings Aguilar all the way around, across the plate. Ray crosses the plate. Second home run of this at-bat for Artesia. And that's going to bring up number 12, Kinsey Carlo, the shortstop to bat.
Kinsey Carlo.
So 1 out. Fresh count. Apologize, it's either me not working the bug well or the bug kind of jumping around on me just a little bit, the score bug. And the first pitch is in. Good pitch by Boyle. Swing and a miss for strike 1. 1 out. 5 runs across the plate so far in this inning for Artesia. Oh, that's inside. Thought that was going to hit Carlo. She flinched, but it did not get her. So ball 1-1 on Carlo, the shortstop for Artesia, batting in that 7th slot. Bases all cleaned off. And that's going to be outside for ball number 2. A slider that slid just a little too early. So ball 2, 2-1. And that's nice. A good pitch. Hits the inside corner. Really nice pitch by Boyle. She's got to feel frustrated right now, knowing that Artesia up by 5. 1 out. And connect, but foul off to the right. As Carlo fouls one off out into the, I don't know if that made it all the way out in the parking lot or not, but she gave it a ride just the wrong way. Keeps a 2-2 count now on Carlo. Hobbs really wanting to get these next 2 outs quickly as much as they can. Yep, she definitely, ump says Carlo broke her wrist, broke the plane, and strike out. So 2nd out, and the first strikeout of the game.
Now batting, Morian.
Bringing to the plate, number 11, Morian, the second baseman for Artesia, batting in the 8th slot. And the first pitch is in, and it's low and inside, but Morian cuts. Swing and a miss for strike 1. So 0-1 the count, 2 outs. Here in the top of the first inning, Hobbs is itching to get this last out, get to the dugout, and get their own bat swinging and get some of those runs back. A swing and a connection, but it fouls off over to the left. It's a little bunt dribbler, acts like a bunt dribbler. She was swinging away at it, but it just means it's strike number 2, 0-2 the count. As Morian batting in the 8th slot for Artesia. It is a lovely afternoon, just a bit of a breeze really coming in sort of from left to right. Nice sunshine. A solid hit right to the shortstop, and Cantu picks it up, throws, and no problem. So 6-3 for the 3rd out, and Hobbs gets to go to the dugout, try to get their own bat swinging, get some of those runs back. So at the end of one half inning play, after the top of the first, their score is 5-0. And we'll be back with more Lady Eagles softball here in Hobbs on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. I'm Dawn Morgan. We are here at the field in Hobbs. Beautiful afternoon for some softball as the Lady Eagles are hosting the Lady Bulldogs of Artesia. And the Lady Bulldogs came to play. They came to bat, at least. Now we'll see what they do out in the field and see if Hobbs can get their bats cranking. Hobbs is known as an offensive team for sure. And they are going to rely on their number one batter. Leadoff batter is number 13, Kayla Boyle, your pitcher for Hobbs. On deck will be number 8, Marissa Young, who is your second baseman. Number 3 is batting third is number 3, Cameron Cantu, your shortstop. Batting fourth, number 16, Carissa Garcia, your first baseman. Batting fifth, number 1, Edith Chavez, your right fielder. Batting sixth is number 5, Kylie Ralston, your center fielder. Batting seventh is number 20, Anaya Rodriguez, your catcher. Number 8 is batting eighth is number 10, Kansas Harrison, your third baseman. Batting ninth is number 6, Angel Jimenez, your designated player. Boyle up. And the first pitch is a call, strike one. So here we are in the bottom of the first inning, no outs. First pitch, a strike. 0-1 on Boyle. She hits the second one, a high fly ball into shallow center. Drifting back for it is Carlo and makes the catch. So a pop to the shortstop is the first out. Boyle getting good contact on it. Just not enough oomph on it. So one out now. Brings up number 8, Marissa Young, to the plate. She's a left-handed batter. Looking to get something started for Hobbs. Ooh, and Crandall is your pitcher.
Marissa Young.
Crandall is on the mound for Artesia. Aguilar's your catcher. Apodaca on first. Morian on second. Ray on third. Carlo in shortstop. Left field, Whitmire. Center field is Morrison. Right field is Warren. Second pitch is in, and it's also a strike. Crandall with a lot of speed. And showing bunt. Goes foul. So I think 1-2. Okay, I was going to say she bunted. That must have been a ball, one of those. So the bunt now makes it 2 strikes. 1-2 is the count. And fouled off, out of play. As Young trying to catch it. She got just a piece of it. Wants to straighten that out. It went well out of play off to the left. So count remains 1-2. 1 out. Bottom of the first. Artesia leading 5-0. Oh, and a swing and a miss. Crandall. That ball actually was probably outside. If she had let it go, it would have been a ball, but it came in with a lot of heat on it. And strikeout number 1 for Crandall. So Hobbs with 2 outs. Looking to get a 2-out rally started now. Number 3, Cameron Cantu coming up to bat. She is your shortstop. And in that top of the first inning, by the way, Artesia got 5 runs on 5 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base. 5-0 your score here as Hobbs facing a strong pitcher in Crandall, but looking to get something started offensively. They're down in a hole really quickly in this game, and they are looking to try to dig themselves out. The umpires are out on the pitcher's mound. I think there's been some question about Crandall and the pitching and maybe her contact. It looks like they're questioning her contact with the rubber through her windup and her delivery, and I think they're wondering if she still has contact with the rubber when the ball leaves her hand. Apparently, they've talked to the coach. Everything looks good. There were no penalty pitches assessed, so we start with a fresh batter. Cantu, a left-handed batter up to the plate. Crandall sizzles one again. Oh, that was the third. Oh, okay. So that was the strikeout. There we go. So that was the. Now it's Cantu. All right. Yeah, and the girls, it was confusing for all of us up here in the booth, so apologies, but Young did strike out. There was a question on that last pitch that we thought was the strikeout, and that's when the umpire and coach got together at the mound to talk about that, but the next pitch that came in was a strike, a swing and a miss, and so Young did go down swinging. Cantu at the plate with one ball, no strikes. And that is a strike. So 2 outs now. Hobbs, again, trying to get a little 2-out rally going. And that is going to be, inside, but it's crossed the inside. It did cross the inside of the plate, so 1-2 the count. 1-2. Crandall. Good speed. That's going to be outside for ball 2. It evens up the count, 2-2. Crandall throwing a slider. And again, it just slid just a little too far, too fast. This one comes in, and it's going to be high. So a full count now on Cantu, 2 outs, bottom of the first. Hobbs down 5-0. Oh, and a call strike as Crandall sent that one right over the outside corner at full speed. So strikeout number 2 for her, out number 3 for Hobbs. They go up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. And we're going to go to the top of the second inning with Artesia still leading 5-0. You're watching and listening to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. I'm Dawn Morgan. We go to the top of the second inning as there were no runs, no hits, no errors for Hobbs, and they're at bat. They went up, 3 down. Boyle popped out to the shortstop. Young and Cantu struck out. And now Artesia would be back up to bat. They scored 5 runs in their first at bat, 2 home runs. And the bottom of the order is due up with the batting ninth, Jenna Whitmire, your left fielder. And the first pitch is in, and it is a strike, call strike. So 0-1 the count on Whitmire. Boyle on the mound for Hobbs. Rodriguez catching. Second pitch is in. Swing and fouled off to the left for strike number 2. 0-2 now on Whitmire. Whitmire is the left fielder for Artesia. A right-handed batter, batting in the 9th slot. On deck is number 13, Riley Crandall. And a swing, catching just a piece of that on the end of her bat. She was protecting the plate. And it's fouled well out of play, off to our right. Count remains 0-2. Nobody out. Whitmire up first for Artesia. They're wanting to increase their lead. Hobbs wants to shut them down. And fouled off to the left. As again, Boyle working her speeds, working her pitches. In, out, up and down. This Artesia team, they're a team of hitters, and you have to work really hard and think hard as a pitcher against a team like this. Boyle doing her best. And a nice heat on that one, but kind of hit the side of her hip going by just a little, I think. And that sent it wide, so outside for ball number 1. But still good speed on that. Oh, yeah, call strike 3, and a nice strikeout. I tell you what, I just talked about Boyle varying her pitches and her speeds, and picked that one to go right across the inside corner with good speed, and Whitmire just watched it go by. So first strikeout for Boyle.
Crandall.
1 out. That brings the top of the order up. Crandall, the pitcher for Artesia, is up. She hit a double, stand-up double, her first time at the plate. Ended up crossing the plate, scoring the very first run for Artesia. First pitch is in, and it's a ball. So ball 1. And that one's going to come in just a little high for ball 2. A lot of spin on her pitch. And some pretty good speed there. Just needed to bring it down by about a ball's width to make it a strike. This one she does bring down too much. That's going to be ball 3. So 0-3 on Crandall. You got to think that the take sign will be on. Then again, she's a leadoff hitter. And if she sees a pitch that she can hit and the coach has given her the clear sign, then it's possible she could pick it up. Boyle wants to get her out. Nice pitch, just a little low and outside, and that's going to be a walk. First walk issued by Boyle, and that's going to put Crandall on first.
Now batting, Kenna Morrison.
So 1 out.
Yes.
I need to adjust my score bug just a bit here. So fresh count, 1 out. Runner on first now. Morrison the bat. Throw down to second, trying to pick off Crandall, and they get her. Wow, and Crandall had a bit of a jump. But nice throw. Rodriguez was up right away and threw her out. So 2-4 for the second out. And no runners on now. Morrison with an 0-1 count on her. Ooh, swing and a miss. As a nice pitch by Boyle. She hit the outside corner on that. And Morrison snapped her bat around, but too late. So 0-2 is the count now on Morrison. Morrison, the center fielder for Artesia. Nice pitch. There's a connection made. It looks like it's going to go foul, and coming in, good hustle by Chavez on the run, picking up that foul ball, a pop foul, making the 3rd out for Hobbs. Great fielding. So Hobbs is showing that they're here to play too. 3 up, 3 down. There were no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. So the score remains 5-0. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Hobbs will come up to bat. It's going to be Chavez, Ralston, and Rodriguez. Garcia, Chavez, and Ralston, that is, for Hobbs when we're back with more Hobbs Lady Eagle softball against Artesia here in Hobbs. And we're back with Hobbs Lady Eagles softball against Artesia here in Hobbs. I'm Dawn Morgan. Thank you for watching and listening on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube.
Now batting, number 16,
We are in the bottom of the second
Artesia.
inning. Artesia had no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And the first hitter is Garcia, and she does hit it, and it's going to be a foul, long pop foul. Coming over to try to catch it is Warren from right field. She doesn't get there in time and cannot get it. Carissa Garcia giving it a good slap, but again, it would have just, it just becomes a strike, a long strike. So no outs. Your second pitch comes in, and it's going to be a ball. So 1-1 is your count on Carissa Garcia, number 16, your first baseman for Hobbs. Batting in the fourth spot, 1-1 the count, no outs. Hobbs really needing to get this inning and get it off, get it started, and get a lot of runs in. They are down 5-0 right now. Second pitch is going to be outside. Ball 2-1 the count. 2-1 the count on Garcia. She smacks this one. That's out of here. That's out of the park. Yes, it is. And a solid hit. Almost really a line drive home run as Garcia picked her spot right between center and left. And wow, what a nice hit to get things started. Too bad the bases weren't loaded, but you do what you can, and that's the best she could do, is putting a run on the board herself, touching all the bases and coming home and putting Hobbs on the board. So 1 run for Hobbs now, no outs. Number 1, Edith Chavez, your right fielder, coming up to the plate. So this may be just
the right fielder, Edith Chavez.
This may be just the spark that Hobbs needs, as Chavez takes a look at that, and it's a ball. So, let me adjust my score bug again. 1 ball, no strikes. Edith Chavez, nobody on after that solo homer. Second ball comes in, and Chavez takes a crack at it, fouls it off out of play to the right. So strike 1, 1-1 your count now. Hobbs girls making some noise in the dugout, lots of energy after that solo homer by Garcia. They would like to keep this rolling. Oh, and there's a strike. That's right. As Crandall took a little speed off of that pitch and did send it right over the plate. Kind of a little bit of a drop to that. So strike number 2. Oh, yeah, that was a strike. So strike out as Chavez gives a look, but goes back to the dugout. That'll bring number 5, Kylie Ralston, the center fielder, to the plate. So Hobbs with 1 out now. Oh, I really need my shades, but
number 5, the center fielder, Kylie Ralston.
I'm finding it hard to see. And first pitch is in. Ralston swings and fouls it back out of play. So that'll be strike number 1. Can we adjust my bug? 1 out. Here we are in the bottom of the second inning. Score is 5-1, Artesia leading. 1 out, nobody on. Ralston to the plate, 0-1 count. Swing and just catches a piece of it off the end of her bat. Sends it back to the screen, so 0-2. Hobbs really would like to keep the momentum going. Ralston, left-handed batter. Oh, and that's going to be low in the dirt, actually, just practically, and outside for ball number 1. Crandall, a lot of speed, varies her pitches, checks her wrist, and swing and a hit, a solid hit right between third and shortstop. A nice line drive single as Ralston is on base with a sharply hit ball right out. There's nothing. And I tell you, Ray and Carla were right there trying to snag that, but it was so sharply hit, they didn't have time to stretch and get it. So Ralston on first with a nice single, and that brings up number 20, Anaya Rodriguez, your catcher, to the plate. First pitch is in, and it's high as Aguilar behind the plate comes up, threatening to throw, but no harm. So 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out. Swing and a miss as Crandall brought the heat. That was a really beautiful pitch. Just brought the heater right straight across the plate. Credit where credit's due. Rodriguez a little late on it. She knew it was a good pitch, but she snapped to it just a little too late. So 1-1 is the count. If she can be just a little bit quicker, she could do some damage. That one is going to be low and in the kind of not really in the dirt, but low enough that it gave Aguilar problems, and advancing to second on that pass ball. On the fence whether to call that a pass ball or a wild pitch, but I will call it a pass ball as Ralston takes second base. Oh, and an almost swing. Rodriguez checks it in time. So that's a 3-1 count on her now. Rodriguez 3-1. Runner in scoring position out on second base. That was Ralston who batted. I'm not sure if that's... Yeah, I guess that's still her. I don't think it's a courtesy runner out there. And that's a call strike. As the Hobbs faithful did not like that pitch, did not think that was a strike. But it's full now. Rodriguez with a full count on her. 1 out. Runner in scoring position, that is, on second base. Ooh, high and inside. And Rodriguez takes the walk. So now Rodriguez on first, Ralston on second. Candace Harrison, number 10, your third baseman, up to the plate. All right, still just 1 out. Here we are, bottom of the second inning, 5-1, as Hobbs has a good start with that solo homer by Garcia. And now they want to keep that going, get some more of these runs back. I think they've proven to themselves that definitely Crandall can be hit, as now Hobbs has started hitting and even has drawn the walk for the first time too. Crandall has had 2 strikes, 2 strikeouts and a walk in the book so far. And this ball comes in and it is high for ball number 1. So 1-0 on Harrison. Runners on first and second, 1 out. That ball is going to come in and hit the inside corner. This ump has been calling that pitch, and the pitch is on the inside corner very consistently. So the batters who have a tendency to crowd the plate might want to step back from that just a little, because they might not have room to swing or think they do, but it's going to get called a strike if it's there. Beautiful bunt laid down, and that is textbook bunting. Wow, what a beautiful... That's a bunt single by Harrison. Man, she laid that down. Perfect spot, killed the momentum. It didn't go too far. It went just far enough. Nobody had a good play on it. The catcher couldn't get it in time. The pitcher couldn't. She did try to come in on it, but by the time she got there, there was no throw in time. Beautiful. Remove the runners around. Bases are loaded for Angel Jimenez, your designated player, and she hits a grounder. It is a grounder, trying to cut off the lead run. A throw by Morian on second. She scoops it, makes the throw, but not in time, and that is going to score Ralston. So Ralston crosses the plate. Rodriguez moves to third. Harrison moves to second. Jimenez gets on a fielder's choice. A fielder's choice.
Now batting number 13, Kaya Boyle.
And that's another run for Hobbs. 5-2, bringing the top of the order back up to the plate with number 13, Kaya Boyle, your pitcher. First pitch is in, and it's high for ball number 1. Still just 1 out. Bottom of the second, Hobbs has put two runs across the plate so far in this at-bat. Bases loaded. Oh, swing and a miss. Crandall took some speed off of that. Oh, that was a changeup, and it was too perfect to pass up. And Boyle went for it, and Boyle's a scrappy hitter, man, but she just was too out in front of that one. So it becomes a strike, 1-1. That's going to be low. 2-1 is your count, so a low pitch. All right. 1 out. Bases loaded. Perfect opportunity. Hobbs is poised to have just a breakout inning here, a breakout at-bat, that is. And that is going to be a call strike. And I've told you that the right-handed batters who step up there and normally crowd the plate quite a bit maybe need to just step back a little, because Crandall is painting that corner. The ump is calling that for both pitchers, and they're going to get that strike called on him every time. A swing and a hit, a grounder is going to go right to Morian, but she bobbles the throw, and that is going to score Rodriguez. So Boyle gets on first on a fielder's choice again, and that is going to be an error on the throw. The other throw was not an error, but that is an error on the second baseman because the throw was bad. The other throw just simply wasn't in time. It was a good throw and on target, the one that scored previously. But this one was a bad throw. It was off. And that's going to bring up number 8, Marissa Young, your second baseman for Hobbs, up to the plate. Still just 1 out. And Hobbs continues to bring him across. It's now 5-3. 5-3. Hobbs is catching up, and they still have bases loaded. So Jimenez on first, or Boyle on first, however. Harrison over on third. Jimenez goes on second. Boyle reaching on that fielder's choice. That throw not in time. And Young, a left-handed batter, steps up
Marissa Young
with a perfect chance to keep the bat swinging for Hobbs and keep the runs coming across the plate. Artesia, of course, wants to turn a double play and shut him down. And that's going to cross the inside corner and be a call strike. So 0-1 is the count on Young. As we've got a good one shaping up here early on. When Artesia jumped out to a 5-0 lead, it looked like, this could be a runaway. Hobbs has said, oh no, we're here. This pitch comes in, and it's outside. It's going to be a ball. So 1-1 is your count on Young. There's a force on any base. Again, Artesia tried twice to cut off the lead run. Unsuccessful in both of them. A nice hit. It's going to be a line drive out to center field, but it is going to score 1 because tagging up at third was Harrison, and so that's going to be an RBI for Young. A sacrifice fly out to center field, bringing home a run for Hobbs as Harrison crosses the plate. Jimenez is able to move to third.
Cantu.
Actually, yep, that's... All right, so it's going to be Cameron Cantu at the plate now, as Hobbs is has completely almost just about batted around here. So number 3, Cameron Cantu at the plate, still just 1 out. Runners on first and third now. So you've got Boyle on first. You've got Jimenez over on third. And the first pitch was a ball. 1-0 is the count. Swing and a dribbler rolls foul for strike number 1. So 2 outs now. Hobbs has scored 4 runs in this at-bat. It is 5-4. Artesia now leading just by 1 run. Crandall looking into the dugout at the coach, checking her wrist. And that's going to be low and inside for ball number 2. So 2-1 is your count now on Cantu. Cantu struck out her first time at bat. So she's looking for some redemption here, looking to keep the inning going. The at-bat going for Hobbs. Oh, and that's going to be high and outside for ball number 3. So 3-1 is your count now. Cantu gave that a good hard look, but she didn't offer on it. So good eye. Hobbs with the runners at first and third. I'd like to score another run or two or even more before they have to take the field again. Oh, and that's going to hit as Cantu gets hit by pitch. So hit by pitch puts her on first base. And that's going to move Boyle over to second. You know, I didn't see, a lot of times there will be a courtesy runner for the pitcher and the catcher, and I did not catch to see. I think that's still Boyle herself out there on second, but Hobbs has loaded them up again with that hit by pitch. That's the first hit by pitch of the game for either pitcher. So Hobbs, fans making some noise in the stands. They, of course, don't ever want to see a player hit by pitch, but they're happy that Hobbs has loaded up the bases. Bringing up to the plate, their cleanup hitter, number 16, Carissa Garcia, first baseman. She hit a solo homer her first time up at the plate this inning, this at-bat. First one comes in, and it is going to be a ball. So 1-0 is the count. As Garcia worked a 2-1 count before she hit that solo homer. Oh, and a big swing and a miss as you could see her turn her head. She did not watch the ball that time. She got a little carried away. I think she wanted it a little too much and took her head out of it and ended up missing that ball. But she's a capable hitter. 1-1 is the count. And swing and a miss on this one, too, as Crandall took a little speed off of that pitch, knowing how anxious Garcia is to hit. And Garcia was way out in front of that. So 1-2 is the count. 2 outs, bases loaded. Hobbs wants to keep the momentum going, keep the runs coming across. Oh, and got just a piece of that. Garcia swings again and catches a piece to stay alive. With a 1-2 count, fouls it just enough to keep that count at 1-2. Bases loaded. 1-2 count. Hobbs really wanting to get at least one more run or more. Garcia catches a piece of that, swings really late. I think she's protecting the plate more than anything with 2 strikes on her. So she spoiled that one off. Count remains 1-2. Hobbs trailing by 1 run, but they have had a heck of a good at-bat here. Artesia looking to shut him down, though. Oh, and a change-up gets Garcia way out in front, swinging and hitting nothing but air. So a home run and a strikeout in one at-bat for Garcia, and that's going to end the at-bat for Hobbs. So 3 outs, but not before 4 runs cross the plate. So Hobbs able to catch up a bit. 5-4 is your score. We're going to go to the top of the 3rd inning. Artesia coming up to the plate. We'll be back with more Lady Eagle softball here from the Hobbs field. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. In that bottom of the second inning, Hobbs scored 4 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error. Hobbs left 3 on base. And that brings us to the top of the third inning. Artesia leading 5-4. And up at the bat is Caden Apodaca. She gives this one a ride. Oh, yeah, and it's a homer. As that was deceptive. I thought that was going to hang up, and Souter was right out there to try to catch that. But that ball, I think, got caught up when just a little bit of a breeze. Caden Apodaca, though, with a solo homer to lead off this top of the third inning for Artesia. So a solo homer is going to make it 6-4 Artesia. No outs. As coming up to bat will be number 8, Zoe Warren, your right fielder for Artesia. Apodaca.
Zoe Warren.
That's pretty amazing. Apodaca had a 3-run home run hit her first time up at bat, and then a solo home run. So she's had 2 home runs in this game so far. First pitch on Warren is a ball. So no outs. I adjust the score bug there. Sorry about that. No outs. Nobody on. A swing and tipped it just enough to foul it for strike 1. 1-1 the count. Warren was thrown out her first time at bat, hitting a grounder to the second baseman. 1-1 the count. And that is going to be just a bit outside. So 2-0 the count. Very close to the corner, but just not close enough. As Boyle trying to work her batter. 2-1 count. Brings the heat, but that's going to be a hit. A well-hit ball out to right field. Chaffis knocks it down and then makes a really nice throw into her cutoff person, Young, in second base. But Warren with a line drive single out in right field. Puts her on first.
Now batting, Bubba Aguilar.
So Artesia with Warren on first, and number 15, Bubba Aguilar, the catcher, up to the plate. She hit a single and crossed the plate for Artesia her first time at bat. First pitch is in. It's a fast ball. It's going to be outside, though, a little high and outside as Boyle bringing the heat. Just missed the zone. Hobbs really wanting to get their first out here. Oh, and a kind of a dangerous pitch there as that went very high and outside, but Rodriguez did a nice job jumping up and catching that. If that ball had gotten past her, Warren would be sitting on first. Warren was watching, ready to take off, but good grab. So 2-0 is the count, 2-0. Oh, and there is a pass ball. So we're going to call that a wild pitch. So Warren advances on the wild pitch. So I really don't think Rodriguez could have gotten that. So 3-0 is the count on Aguilar. Warren on second base. And it's going to be high for ball number 4. And that's the second walk issued by Boyle. That's going to put Aguilar on first. Warren is on second already. And still no outs. So it is no outs. A runner on first. As Coach Crossland wants to have a word at the mound with his girls, probably just letting Boyle know, just pitch, just throw strikes, put it up there, trust your fielders to do what they do. Just don't get discouraged. That's usually the message in a case like this. KJ Ray, number 7, your third baseman for Artesia, up at the plate now with runners on first and second. Artesia leads Hobbs 6-4 now here in the top of the third inning. No outs. Ray hit a 2-run homer her last time at bat. She smacks this one, a nice line drive long. It hits the fence between right and center, and it is going to score one. So it does score Warren from second base. It moves Aguilar to third, and Ray takes first with a real hard hit. It was a line drive right to the fence. Well hit ball.
Now batting, Kenzie Carlo.
Number 12, Kenzie Carlo, your shortstop for Artesia, coming up to the plate. She struck out her last time at bat, which was her first time at bat. So still no outs. Runners at the corners, first and third for Artesia. Hobbs looking to get that first out. Pitch comes in high and wide outside. Ball number 1. So Boyle bringing some heat. I think she's a little frustrated out there. But that's just going to make her more determined. Oh, and she shows. Oh, and it hit her. So that's going to be a foul ball. Oh, and she's going to say that's an out because she was out of the box when that ball hit her. If she was still in the box when it hit her, it would simply be a strike. But I think they're going to. All right. So the coach is. Yep. That's the call. So she is out because the ball hit her. She hit a foul ball, but she was out of the box when it hit her. So that is out number 2. So, or out number 1, rather, not number 2. Sorry, I apologize. I was wishful thinking. And there's a well-hit ball out to center field. And moving back a couple of steps is Ralston. She catches it, makes a nice throw in, but it is going to score 1. So Morian with a sacrifice fly out to center field. Well-hit ball, and it will score Aguilar from third. But that's 2 outs. 2 outs now. Bringing up number 14, Jenna Whitmire, your left fielder for Artesia. So 2 outs. Oh, and a call strike as Boyle bringing the heat. Nice pitch. 0-1. So 0-1 is your count. 2 outs now. Artesia has managed to score 3 in this at-bat. Hobbs would like to shut him down. That's going to be high and outside for ball number 1. So 1-1 your count. 2 outs now. Top of the third. Artesia leading 8-4. Runner on first. That is Ray. And that's going to be low for ball number 2. So 2-1 your count. Hobbs just needs to concentrate on this third out. Get back in the dugout, get their bats swinging again, and get some of those runs back. They are certainly capable of that as they put 4 runs on the board their last time at bat. Oh, and it's going to be inside. Ducking out of the way is Whitmire. But that will bring the count to 3-1. Hobbs just needing a third out to get out of this inning. This at bat for Artesia, rather. Oh, and that, very close to being a strike as that just a little too high and outside for a ball. That's going to send Ray over to second, put Whitmire on with a walk. And that's going to bring up the top of the order for Artesia. Number 13, Riley Crandall, your pitcher, coming up to the plate. She drew a walk her last time at bat, got thrown out at second. And she hit a double her first time at bat, ended up crossing the plate for Artesia. So Riley Crandall coming up to the plate. The umpires are having a powwow. And they're going to walk Crandall. So Ray moves around to third. Whitmire moves to second, and Crandall takes it. That was an intentional walk just to load up the bases. So now Hobbs has a force on any base, with an infield hit after that intentional walk. And the first pitch, it comes in, and it's going to be ball one. So bases loaded, 2 outs. Morrison popped out to the right fielder last time. She hits this one way up in the air. It's going, and it's just outside the fence. I can tell you, Ralston was hustling over from center to try to get that. She thought that might be right inside the fence, right at the fence, and it was just over. So she did not have a play on that, but she was looking for it. So that's Morrison with a 4-run home run, grand slam, clears off the bases. So Ray scores, Whitmire scores, Crandall scores, and of course Morrison. So a grand slam homer puts Artesia up 12-4, and they have batted around. Coming back up to bat now is number 24, Caden Apodaca. She was your leadoff hitter in this at-bat for Artesia. Up, and we're going to have a pitching change for Hobbs. And that is number 11, who is going to be pitching. That's Kylie Morian. So a pitching change. Morian is going to go. No, not Morian. I'm sorry. Number 11 is Ellie Medina. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong, but Ellie Medina is going to come in to pitch. She's going to come in off the bench. She's number 11. Off of the Hobbs bench. She will be in. So I was looking at my book here while they're taking warm-up pitches. So I'm going to change all of this. So after 1 strikeout and 4 walks, one of them an intentional by Boyle. Boyle, I believe, will... Let's see, is Boyle staying in the game?
Yeah, she's going to second.
She's going to second. Are they bringing Young out? Okay. They just...
Now batting, Caden.
Okay,
Apodaca.
thank you. All right, so back to the issue at hand, which is trying to get this out, this third out on Artesia before they do even more damage. And the first pitch comes in, and it is a strike on Apodaca. So 0-1 is the count on Apodaca. And that's going to hit the inside corner, a beautiful pitch. And that ump has been calling that corner consistently for both, or for all the pitchers now, the whole game. Apodaca with 2 home runs to her credit so far. She pulls this one way over, and hustling over there was Souter. She ran. It's a foul ball. She thought she may be able to get to that before it went out of play, but she could not. Good hustle. But it simply means it's the count remains 1-2 actually now. So 1-2 on Apodaca. Apodaca, solo homer her last time up, a 3-run homer her first time up. And this is going to float in there. A little change up is going to be high for ball number 2. So 2-2 now on Apodaca. 2 outs. 12-4 is your score. 7 runs by Artesia in this at bat. And now that is 2-2. Yeah, I believe I had called that. Had written that down as a ball earlier. Now your count is 2-2. Oh, and that's going to be high, and that's going to be your ball 4. That's where it was.
That's 3-2.
That's 3. Yep, she was a little. See, I was writing it down as bringing the count full, and she took off. I assumed, okay, I made an error. I thought, gee, I guess I wrote it down wrong, but nope, it was right. And she thought her count was full, or she thought that was ball 4, but we had it right up here. There you go. Now that's ball 4, and that's a walk. All right.
Now batting Zoe Warren.
Hobbs just having trouble getting this 3rd out. They just need to get one more out and get out of this at bat and get into the dugout. And Artesia has been doing exactly what they want, which is just continuing to stretch out this at bat and put more runs on the board. That's going to be a beautiful pitch and come in right over the plate. Warren somehow thought that was inside, flinched, but nope, or rather. So 0-2 is the count. 2 outs. There's high. So plenty of speed. Medina able to generate a lot of speed, but on some of her fastest pitches, she's having trouble dialing that down just a little bit, getting them down. So sometimes it's a release problem. Sometimes it's a stride problem when you do that. Sometimes you're not striding out enough. So it just depends on how this particular how her own personal mechanics. And that one she brought in. It was a beautiful strike. It's hit. It's a foul. And coming over from third to get that is Harrison. Man, she ran in. And finally, Harrison catching that pop foul finally makes that 3rd out. And Hobbs can get out and get out of the field and into the dugout and back. So Artesia putting on 7 runs during that at-bat. So 12-4 is your score, and we'll be back with the bottom of the 3rd inning here. It's Artesia over Hobbs, and we'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. Welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. Hobbs hosting Artesia this afternoon. And in the top of the 3rd, Artesia had 7 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Coming up to bat for Hobbs is number 1, Edith Chavez, your right fielder. And the first pitch comes in, and it is going to be a ball. Hobbs in a bit of a hole, but they're a slugging team, and they're capable of hitting and getting these runs back. 12-4 your score. They're down by 8 here in the bottom of the 3rd, and that's going to catch the outside corner. A fast ball by Crandall catches the outside corner, evens up the count 1-1. Beautiful weather for this game this afternoon. Just a tiny bit of a breeze, gusts up just a bit at times. And there's a hit. It's going to go foul. Not getting there in time, though, is Warren. She hustled over, and that ball came very close to hitting the line, but you could see it peeling away to the right after it left her bat. And I knew that was going to be foul, but it ended up being much closer than I thought, so it becomes a long strike, too. 1-2 is your count. Chavez struck out her last time at bat, so she's looking for a little redemption here. And that's going to be outside for ball number 2. So 2-2 the count. As Chavez looking to spark something for the Lady Eagles, they are down by 8 and need to get the bat swinging, get the folks on base, move them around, get some runs back. Crandall with an outside pitch again, trying for the outside corner, taking a little bit off that, and I think that kind of smacked her hip a bit. Ends up going wide. Full count now. Full count on Chavez. Crandall bringing the heat, but it stays high for a ball, and that's a walk. That's the second walk she's issued this afternoon. And that is going to put Chavez on first. So no outs.
Number 5, Kylie Ralston.
Number 5, Kylie Ralston, your center fielder for Hobbs, is up the plate. She hit a single and scored for Hobbs her last time at bat. She had a sharply hit ball out between short and third. And the first pitch comes in, and it is a screamer, and it is a strike. So Crandall bringing the heat with 1 on base, no outs. Hobbs trails by 8. Ralston in the box, left-handed hitter for Hobbs, center fielder for Hobbs. And she hits this one, and it's going to go fair. It ends up being a swinging bunt is what I will call that, because she hit it, it hit the ground. The ump came out and he really looked closely at that to make sure that it didn't hit the plate after she hit it, and he determined that it went forward, and it just became a swinging bunt and put her on base. There was just no time to be able to get a throw. The throw was on target. No way that she was going to get out. So it becomes a single, and it brings up Anaya Rodriguez to the plate. Rodriguez hits the first pitch she sees, and it goes out to right field. Coming in, making a really good catch on that. Warren catches that. So a fly out to right field, shallow right, is the first out. Ralston stays on first. There was a throw to try to pick her off, but it was not in time. So Rodriguez out. Bringing up number 10, Candace Harrison, your third baseman for Hobbs. First pitch is in, swing and a tip. So a foul ball ends up being strike number 1 on her. So 1 out, 0-1 the count. Runners on first and second for Hobbs. Chavez on second, Ralston on first. Harrison at bat. And she bunts it, but it goes foul. She hit a beautiful bunt, a textbook bunt, and got a single out of that her first time at bat, which was her last time at bat, and ended up scoring for Hobbs. But this one just becomes her second strike, 0-2. So she'll be hitting away now. And she catches a piece of that, the end of her bat, but it goes fouled off to the right. Count stays 0-2. Here we are in the bottom of the third inning. Your score is 12-4. As Artesia put 5 runs on the board their first at bat. They added 7 their last at bat. And swing and a miss. And that's going to send Harrison down swinging. So that's the second out. That's the third strikeout for Crandall this afternoon. Second out.
Now batting number 6, Angel Jimenez.
So Hobbs with runners in scoring position. Angel Jimenez, your designated player for Hobbs at the bat. She got on a fielder's choice her first time at bat and got stranded on third. First pitch in is a strike. So 0-1 the count, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Oh, and she chases one as Hobbs knows, every batter knows there's pressure on them to get something going for Hobbs and to create some noise and bring some runs in. And that pressure can sometimes, that anxiety, that anxiousness can lead to swinging at bad pitches. That one way outside. 1-2 is your count. 1-2 now. It's Crandall, capable of bringing a lot of heat, and sometimes the girls start swinging at those before they really develop. This time, good eye by Jimenez. Lets it go. This one she doesn't. And that's going to be a strikeout and out number 3. So they go up 5 up, 3 down with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. We're going to go to the top of the 4th inning with Artesia leading 12-4. And we'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball here in Hobbs on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. I'm Dawn Morgan. In that bottom of the 3rd inning, again, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. We go to the top of the 4th inning with Artesia leading this one 12-4. Batting up is number 15, Bubba Aguilar, your catcher for Artesia. She walked and scored, came across the plate her last time at bat. She hit a single and scored for Artesia her first time at bat. And the first pitch into her is going to be a ball. For ball number 1. 1-0 the count on Aguilar. And this one is hit. Is it going to stay fair? It is, and it's going to be out of play, out of the field, not just out of play. It's not a foul ball. Deep left, over in the corner. Souter was there, but nothing she could do as another solo homer gives Artesia another run and makes it 13-4. So Aguilar with an out-of-park home run. And that is, my goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the 5th home run that Artesia has hit today against Hobbs. That's the 5th home run. That's pretty amazing. That's going to bring up number 7, KJ Ray, to the bat. She hits a long fly, but out there to get it is Souter. So Ray gave it a ride. The first pitch that she saw, she hit, but a fly out to left field is going to be the first out. And that's going to bring number 12, Kenzie Carlo, the shortstop, up to bat for Artesia.
Kenzie Carlo.
Carlo hit a foul ball that hit her first time up at bat. She hits the first pitch she sees, a long fly ball out to center. Ralston has it. Ralston's got it. So a nice catch. So a fly out to center field. Out number 2, and that brings number 11, Kylie Morian, to the plate. Morian, your second baseman for Artesia. She had a sacrifice fly out to center field her last time at bat. She was thrown out, hit a grounder to the shortstop her first time up. So she is 0 for 2. Morian, first pitch on her is a ball. 1-0 with 2 outs now. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Swing and a foul off to the right brings the count even, 1-1. So with 2 outs, your score is 13-4 now, 13-4 after that solo homer by Aguilar in this inning. So 2 outs, Hobbs just needs to get 1 more. Artesia would like to extend the at-bat. And that's a long fly ball out to center field over the fence. Another over the fence home run. That is home run number 6 by Artesia in this game. They're putting on an amazing offensive display here today, and it's been on 2 different pitchers for Hobbs. They simply are a hitting team. Hobbs also has that reputation for, being an offensive team, a hitting team. They have not been able to put as many runs on the board today as Artesia.
Now batting, Jenna Whitmire.
So it's 14-4 now here in the top of the 4th. Up to the plate, number 14, Jenna Whitmore, your left fielder for Artesia. Oh, it's going to be low and inside for ball number 1. So 2 outs. Hobbs just needs to get this final out and get out of this and get in the dugout and try to get some runs on the board. Otherwise, they run the risk of having a run-ruled game on them. This ball is also going to be high and inside for ball number 2. So 2 outs, nobody on. There have been 2 home runs hit, 2 out of the park home runs, over the fence homers in this at bat by Artesia. And there's a hit to the third baseman. Harrison bobbles it at first, picks it up, but makes the throw in time. So nice throw from Harrison over to Garcia, and that's going to be the 3rd out. So Artesia manages to put 2 runs on. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. So we're going to go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Hobbs coming up to the bat. They trail by 10, though. 14-4 your score. I'm Dawn Morgan with more Lady Eagles softball in just about half a minute right here in Hobbs on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. Here we are in the bottom of the 4th inning. Your score is 14-4, Artesia leading. Kaya Boyle is at bat. Kaya, the leadoff hitter. She started off pitching in this game and has gone to now to second base. And the first, she has a 1-1 count on her now. Bottom of the 4th inning, no outs. Boyle first batter up. Ooh, that's going to be low and inside. Low and inside for ball number 2. 2-1 is your count. Boyle is a good hitter. That's the reason why she is the leadoff hitter, and she normally comes through for the Lady Eagles. She popped out her first time at bat, reached on a fielder's choice her second time at bat. So she is due. She's 0 for 2. Two balls, 2 strikes on her now. Count is even. Hobbs trailing by 4. They need to put some runs on the board. And that's going to be high and outside for ball number 3. Count full on Boyle. She's got a good eye. Crandall with the wind up, and the payoff pitch is high and outside. So Boyle takes first base, works that count full, then turns that into a walk. That's the third walk that Crandall has issued. She struck out 3. She has struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She has struck out 5 and walked 3 so far in this game. And up at the plate now is number 8, Marissa Young. Young, a left-handed batter. 1 ball, no strikes to her. With Boyle on first, reaching on a walk. No outs. Hobbs needing to get something going here. They need to put at least 1 run on the board, keep themselves out of the 10-run rule range. And a swing and a miss. Strike number 1 as Crandall threw a changeup, took off some speed on that. And Young a little anxious on it. So 1-1. And a bunt, and she is thrown out. So a bunt, and she is thrown out. Still a nice try at that. But she is thrown out at first base. So now 2 outs.
Now batting the shortstop, number 3, Cantu.
2 outs. Nobody on. Cameron Cantu, the shortstop, up for Hobbs. First ball comes in, and it is a strike, so 0-1 count. And this is going to be low for ball number 1. 1-1 the count. Hobbs dugout noisy as they trying to inject some energy in here, get something started. The Hobbs faithful, the crowd of fans here have gone very quiet as their team is down by 10 runs. And that's a little outside. Aguilar, the catcher, framed that up. She held that glove up there for a while, trying to say, hey, this is a strike. He didn't go for it. He said, nope, it's outside. That's going to be ball number 2. 2-1 the count. 2-1 the count, 2 outs. Oh, and that's going to hit the outside corner. That was a beautiful pitch. Crandall brought the heat, painted the corner, and Cantu thought about it. She almost offered. 2-2 the count on her with 2 outs now. Hobbs trailing by 10. Here we are, bottom of the 4th inning. A hit right back to the pitcher. Crandall fields that, makes an easy throw over for the 3rd out. So 1-3 for out number 3. And that means 3 up, 3 down. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. And we're going to go to the top of the 5th inning. Your score 14-4. Artesia coming up to the plate. And we'll be back with more Lady Eagles softball on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. And back for more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. I'm Dawn Morgan, and I realized that I had misspoken at times. I knew what I was thinking, but I misspoke in that bottom of the 4th inning. As when Boyle came up to bat, she ran the count full, and I thought that 4th pitch was a walk, and I wrote that down as a walk. Realized that she had been thrown out and had a strikeout instead of reaching first. So that's how we got those 3 outs. Boyle struck out. Young got thrown out at first on an unsuccessful bunt. Cantu got thrown out at first. A little hit back, a soft hit ball back to the pitcher. So 3 up, 3 down brings us to the top of the 5th inning. Top of the 5th inning, Artesia coming up to the bat. They lead this one 14-4. And this is going to be the top of the order. Number 18, De La Riva, is going in place of Crandall. So De La Riva will bat, and that means I'm assuming, unless they change the field around, that Crandall will not be pitching when Artesia comes back up to the plate if they in fact need another at-bats. But De La Riva at the plate, swing and a miss, strike number 1. So De La Riva coming off of the bench. He hits this one out of play. So it's even, 1-1 on De La Riva. Coming in off of the bench for Crandall, the pitcher. Crandall, not only the pitcher, but the leadoff hitter for Artesia. And Crandall had 2 walks, drew 2 walks, hit a double, and scored twice, crossed the plate twice for Artesia. Rivas ended up striking out. So 1 out now. Strikeout. And that's going to bring up number 2, Kenna Morrison, to center fielder for Artesia. So a strikeout is the first out. And that is actually the first strikeout for Medina, who came in relief for Boyle. And Morrison, first ball is a ball. Second one's going to be high and outside, ball number 2. So 2-0, 1 out. Hobbs trailing 14-4. Artesia with the 10-point lead. Morrison up at bat. Oh, nice pitch. It's just going to end up being a little high and outside, but Medina bringing the heat misses the plate just a bit. 3-0 the count now on Morrison. Medina got to throw a strike here, and she does not. It's a little low. I think it was over the plate, but low, and that is a walk, and I'm going to double check that. Yes, that is a walk. So Morrison on first base brings up number 24, Caden Apodaca.
Now batting, Caden Apodaca.
Apodaca is the first baseman for Artesia. She's walked her last time. It was an intentional walk. She's hit 2 homers in the game. So she's 2 of 3. First pitch to her is high and outside for ball number 1. Still 1 out. Top of the 5th inning, Artesia leading this one 14-4. 1 runner on. Hit. It's out of play though, to the left for strike number 1. So 1-1. All right, 1-1 is the count. 1 out. Very calm right here. We've had a little breeze at times right now. Very, very calm as the sun is setting. And that's a beautiful pitch as Medina lofted one in there. Took a lot off of that. Apodaca, she flinched, but she didn't offer. So call strike 2. 1-2 the count on Apodaca. Got Morrison on first and picks this one off, kind of golfs it. It's going to end up going to the wall in the left field fence. Souter was there trying to get a glove on it, didn't, goes past her, and it's going to be a stand-up double for Apodaca. So a double, well hit out into left field, hitting the fence. It moves Morrison to third. 1 out. That brings Zoe Warren, the right fielder, to the plate. Zoe Warren So runners on second and third, 1 out. And first pitch is going to be in. Call strike. It's an 0-1 count on Warren. 1 out. Artesia leading by 10 here. Oh, and that's a lot of sizzle in the glove, but inside and low for ball number 2, or ball number 1 rather. It's going to even the count. Come on. So I fight with my electronics here. Swing and a foul. Pop foul. Moving under it is Harrison, and she hangs on to it. So a foul pop to the third baseman. Second out. So Warren will sit down, and number 15, Bubba Aguilar, the catcher, will come up to the plate. Bubba Aguilar hit a solo homer her last time up. She walked her second time up at the plate. She hit a single her first time. And she hits the first pitch she sees, pops it up, everybody coming in under it, and it's going to be Medina, the pitcher, who comes in and catches it. So Medina ends up catching it, a pop to the pitcher, ends up third out. So no runs scored by Artesia. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 5th inning with our Hobbs coming up to bat. Artesia still leading 14-4, and we'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagles softball here from Hobbs on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. In the top of the 5th, Artesia had no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. Brings us to the bottom of the 5th inning. Hobbs trailing by 10. It's 14-4, your score. Up first will be number 16, Carissa Garcia, your first baseman. On deck, number 1, Edith Chavez, your right fielder. And in the hole is number 5, Kylie Ralston, your center fielder. Garcia coming up. She struck out her last time at bat. She hit a solo homer her first time up. She is 1 for 2. 1 for 2, a right-handed slugger, as Hobbs desperately needs some slugging in this at-bat. They need slugging, they need good base running, and they need runs across the plate to keep this game going. And there's a sharply hit ball. Ray at third base. All she can do is react to it and knock it down. And that's not really even an error, because she knocked that down, but there was no play. That was just a reaction, more than a fielding choice. It was a reaction, and knocked it down, and then Carlo came over and tried to make a play on it. So that's going to be an infield single. As a good smack blister on that ball puts Garcia on first. Number 1, Edith Chavez, right fielder, up to the plate, and the first pitch is in, and it is a strike. So 0-1 on her. So here we are, bottom of the 5th, no outs. Hobbs with the runner on first. Chavez at the plate with an 0-1 count on her. And that is going to be outside. Again, the catcher, Aguilar, tried to frame that up, giving the ump a chance to call it a strike. He said, nope, it is outside. So 1-1. Garcia over on first. Hobbs really wants to get the bats going, get some runs across the plate. Oh, and a swing and a miss. Strike number 2. Chavez, a bit of a golf shot on that, kind of pulled her head up. 1-2 the count. She's still got time to be able to put a ball in play for Hobbs, and she hits a foul down the third base line. So it count remains 1-2. Finally, that sun, as it sets, shines in the press box up here. And it's in a good place right now. It was bad, but right now, the center cross beam between the windows has it blocked out a bit. So it's good for me. It's probably not so good for my compatriots over there on the right side of the box. Pitch comes in, and it is high and outside. Ball number 2, 2-2 on Chavez. And that is number 10 pitching. That's not Crandall on the mound. That is, what is that? Candace Harrison, I believe. Yep, Harrison is on the mound. Harrison in. We knew that they were pulling the pitcher Crandall when De La Riva batted for her in that last at-bat for Artesia. Oh, and she committed, and it was going to be called a ball because it was outside, but Chavez, protecting the plate, started to swing at it, and she broke her wrist. So strikeout
Now batting number 5
is out number 1.
Kylie Ralston.
So 1 out, still 1 on base. Garcia over there on first. Number 5, Kylie Ralston, center fielder, up to bat. And that is low. Almost gets away from Aguilar, but she traps it, comes up with it, threatening to throw it. Garcia stays put. So ball 1, 1-0. 1 out. That's the first strikeout for Harrison. Oh, not Harrison. That was, I'm calling her Harrison. That is number 10, Martinez, Madison Martinez on the mound. So Martinez on the mound. I wrote Harrison. That's our number 10. So Martinez on the mound. And a sharply hit ball actually ends up being a foul. It sounded serious at the bat. Just caught a piece of it, kind of hopped along over there, out of play along the first base line, so it becomes strike number 2. 1-2 the count on Ralston. Hit a single and got stranded at first her last time up. She hit a single her first time up and crossed the plate for Hobbs. And that's a changeup over outside. A little soft changeup evens up the count, 2-2 now. Artesia still up by 10. Hobbs wanting to cut into that lead here. And swing and a foul tip back to the screen, out of play. Count remains at 2-2. Ralston having to protect the plate. That one looked pretty good. May have been just a little high. Ralston caught it underneath and spun it right back to the fence. Hobbs looking for some more hitting here, moving runners around, that is. And that's low for ball number 3. So the count full now on Ralston. Hobbs would love to have more base runners and bring them in. There. Lady Eagles making some noise in the dugout. And a nicely hit ball. It's going to be out at the fence as Whitmire gives it a chase, but that's a very nicely hit ball out there. Good hit. It's going to be a stand-up double for Ralston. So a nice double way out to left field is going to move Garcia around to third, put Ralston on second. So runners in scoring position for Hobbs. Number 20, Anaya Rodriguez, your catcher, coming up to bat.
Number 20, Anaya Rodriguez.
So still just the 1 out, runners on second and third. Rodriguez smacks it, a well-hit ball out to center field. It's going to hit the fence, And Morrison out there to field it, but it will score 1. So an RBI single for Rodriguez. Scores a Garcia from third, moves Ralston over to third, puts Rodriguez on first. So runners at the corners for Hobbs now, first and third. And now it's 14-5 your score. So that shadow of a 10-run rule is abated at the moment for Hobbs. Candace Harrison, number 10, your third baseman up for Hobbs.
Number 15, Lexi Martinez.
Oh, wait a minute. We do have someone in. And a pass ball is going to get by Aguilar and score. So Ralston makes it in on a pass ball. That is actually a wild pitch. I'm going to score it as a wild pitch, and that's going to bring in Ralston. That's going to move Rodriguez over. Rodriguez takes second on the pass ball and then moves to third on the throw. So Artesia with an error, a couple of errors there. Hobbs makes them pay. So Lexi Martinez at the plate, number 15. All right, and the count on her is 1-1. Now I've written that substitution in. 1-1, still just 1 out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Hobbs has put 2 across the plate so far. Oh, swing and a tip as it hits also hits the ground, so that keeps the count at 1, or actually makes the count 1-2. So Martinez with a count of 1-2 on her. The score is now 14-5. Or is it 6? Nope, it's just 5. Yep, Garcia came in. So we have runner on third. Swing and a sharply hit ball right up the first baseline is going to score. As coming in was Anaya Rodriguez, right? So that scores. And that's going to put Harrison, or actually Lexi Martinez, on first. A nicely hit single, a blistering hit right up the right field line, or first base line, that is, into right field. And that's going to make it, that's 14-6 now.
Now batting number 9, Cam Bennett.
14-6. Hobbs has put a couple of runs across. And that first pitch is going to be outside. So this is number 9, Cammie Bennett. Cammie Bennett up to the plate. So 1 out. And that is a strike. So 1-1. The count, 1 out. 1 runner on base. Martinez standing out there at first. Strike number 2. So 1-2. Sorry, I'm busy cleaning up my book here. An outside. Really wide pitch there. With Martinez on the mound. Martinez came in relief of Crandall. And that pitch is also going to be wide outside. That's going to run the count full now, 3-2 on Cami Bennett, who came in for Angel Jimenez, batting in place of her at least here. You know, in the rules these days, they can pull players, put them in, pull them out. Used to, you couldn't pull a player unless you replaced her in the field, and you couldn't change her once she was there, and things are different now. There's a nicely hit ball, and it's fair, but Ray fumbles that over at third base. Was that Ray, or is that where they put Crandall? Yeah, Crandall's over there. Crandall went over there after she came out from pitching, and she knocks it down, but she can't field it, so it's going to be Bennett reaching on an error on E5, and that also moved Martinez over to second. So runners on first and second, just one out, and she's safe as Martinez tries to steal third, and she's successful. So Martinez getting on base on a single, and then moved over to second on that after the error put Bennett on, and then Martinez stole third base. So we are at the top of the order. Boyle. Whoa, and Hobbs faithful didn't like that call. A 1-1 count now. So 1-1. One out. Runners at second and third for Hobbs. They've put two across the plate so far this inning. And that's going to be outside for ball number 2. So 2-1 on Boyle. She struck out her last time up. Hobbs needing some more runs across the plate. Oh, and that's going to hit the outside corner. Yep, call strike 2. This ump has been calling the corners, and he's been doing it very consistently. Some calls are going to be a little close. They might go one way or the other. This one called a strike, 2-2. Just the one out. Hobbs a great opportunity to get more runs across the plate. 3-2 now, so the count runs full. Lady Eagles, their hopes not diminished by that score. They know the time is now. They have got to put more runs on in this at-bat. They're running out of time, but they're a talented team, and they can come back. Swing and fouled out of play to the right, so Boyle remaining tough at the plate. There's a reason why she's a leadoff hitter. She's tough. She's a tough out. So 3-2, count remains. Runners on second and third for Hobbs. They trail 14-7. Hobbs has put 3 across. I was pretty sure that there were 3, but I was doubting myself. 3 runs across so far, and now the bases are loaded. So Boyle works a walk, takes first base, and loads him up for Hobbs. Just one out. There is a force on any base now. If anything's, of course, infield hits. If Artesia runs true to form, they'll look to get the leadoff runner. Or, in this case, I would go with whichever the easiest out is. You've got some runs to play off. They're up by 7. They need to take the easiest out to get. Hobbs needs to try to keep it from being an easy out. And the first pitch is in, and it's called strike 1. So we'll get my score bug adjusted. Still just one out. 0-1 the count. Bases loaded for Hobbs. They would love to keep this inning going and get more runs across the plate. They have scored 3. Garcia, Ralston, and Rodriguez have all crossed the plate for Hobbs in this at-bat. Martinez is on third, and Bennett is on, let's see, Bennett's on first, Boyle's on first, Bennett's on second, and Martinez is on third. The pitch is in, and it's another strike. So 1-2 is your count now. 1-2 on Young. Young, it's her fourth plate appearance in the game. Oh, swing and a miss. Oof, and that is the third strike. So a strikeout. So she went down swinging, though, and that's just the second out. Bases are still loaded. But Martinez starting to pitch herself out of this jam. We'll see what happens as Cameron Cantu, the shortstop, up to the plate. She wears jersey number 3. She grounded out to the pitcher her last time at bat. She got hit by a pitch and struck out. So she is 0 for 3 and due. And the first pitch is in, and it is a strike. So 2 outs now in the bottom of the 5th inning. Hobbs batting. They trail 14-7. Good hit sharply on the ground to Carlo, the shortstop, and she throws over to third base to Crandall and makes the third out. So from 6-5, cutting that run off. 6-5 for the third out. And Cantu technically would have reached on a fielder's choice. So in the bottom of the 5th inning, Hobbs manages to put 3 runs across the board. They do that on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. 3 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors, and bases left loaded. Ouch. Still, they do manage to get those 3 runs across. So we're going to be going to the top of the 6th inning. Top of the 6th, your score 14-7. Artesia leading. They'll come up to bat, and we'll be back with more Lady Eagles softball here from Hobbs Field on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball here in Hobbs. Top of the 6th inning, Artesia at bat. First up, number 7, KJ Ray. She was playing third base for Artesia. And the first pitch is up, a strike. So 0-1. Ooh, swing and a miss as Medina. Martinez took a little something off of that. So 0-2 is your count. And this pitch comes in, a little chopper hit over to third base. Harrison picks it up, throws it over. Actually, that's not Harrison any longer over there. But the throw was position 5 over to 3 for the first out. And she was number 10 over there. Madison Martinez actually in for Harrison over there in third base.
Now batting, Madison Martinez.
Or actually, Madison Martinez coming up to the plate, that is. And a well-hit ball is going to fall out there between center field and left field. Going for it was Ralston. She plays it off of the wall, throws it in, but Carlo, number 10 actually, Martinez, very, very quick. So she stands out with a double. Stands out on second base after a long hit ball. And number 11, Morian, up to the plate. First pitch is in, and it's a ball. So 1-0 is the count. No outs. Let me adjust my score bug. I still had the outs left up from the Hobbs at bat on there. And 14-7 is your score. We are now in the top of the 6th inning. All right, got everything adjusted on the score bug. And 2 balls, no strikes now on Morian. And number 10, Madison Martinez, standing out there on second base for Artesia after hitting that stand-up double. Threatening to run, goes back to her base. Morian with another strike, a swing and a miss for strike 2. The count is even on Morian. Hobbs with the 1 out on Artesia so far. 1 out, 1 runner in scoring position. Count is even 2-2. Medina bringing the heat, but the ball rises a little too much, brings the count full, 3-2. So the count full on Morian. Runner Martinez out at scoring position. Oh, very close, as that ball just a little high and outside. And Morian works the walk, takes first base. That is going to bring up number 17, Malia Tupa. It's in stereo, sorry. Malia Tupa. And she hits the first pitch she sees. It's a pop, and moving under that is Boyle. She makes that catch. So Tupa, Tupa pops out to Boyle at second base. Boyle has to move over there practically on top of first base to grab it, but that's the second out.
Now batting, Riley Crandall.
Brings the top of the order up. Crandall back in the lineup after De La Riva batted for her last time up. And Crandall's going to watch that one go by, and it hits the inside corner for her. She's a left-handed batter. So, once again, going to adjust my score bug here as we now have 2 outs. Oh, and she flinches as that ball is a little high and inside. Medina taking a little speed off of it. But it is a ball. So 1-1 on Crandall. She smacks that one, pulls that one all the way foul. She was waiting on that one and pulled it over. It becomes a long strike, number 2. So 1-2 the count on her. 2 outs. Hobbs would like to go ahead and try to get this third out, get back in the dugout, and try to get those runs back again. They managed to put 3 on the board their last at bat, and they'd like to get several more. They've got to get this last out to be able to do it. And this one is sharply hit, and it stays fair all the way down the first base line. The throw is good. Chavez fielded it as well as she could, threw it in, but not in time, as that is definitely going to score Martinez from second. So Martinez comes in, moves Morian over to third, and Crandall is on with a double. She actually hit it. That was really a single, and on the throw she took it, but it will be a double. She's going to score it for a double. So runners at second and third. Number 2, Kenna Morrison at the plate. So still 2 outs. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2-0 the count. Just looking to see if that really is still Morrison. And this is going to, just missed as Medina threw a changeup trying to just hit the corner and maybe entice Morrison into swinging. She doesn't, so it's 3 balls, No strikes. Now she's got to put one across. Unfortunately, it's a little inside, so she walks Morrison, and now bases are loaded. 2 outs, though, if Hobbs can, there's a force on any base. So now Hobbs maybe has a chance, but Apodaca, man, she is a hitter. She has hit 2 home runs, a double, and walked. And the first ball is going to come in. It is a ball. So 1-0 the count on Apodaca. She hit a 3-run homer, a solo homer. She walked and got stranded on first, and then hit a double and got stranded on second. She smacks this one high, going high. Coming under that, though, in left field is Souter. So nice play, nice work in there as Apodaca gave it a ride, but instead Souter catches one, and that ends the at-bat for Artesia, flying out to left field. They do manage to score a run, though, so 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they left the bases loaded. So the damage could have been worse for Hobbs, as we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Hobbs trailing now. It's 15-7. 15-7, bottom of the 6th. Hobbs coming up to bat. And we'll just keep it right here. Hobbs batted around the last time at bat. And they put 3 runs on the board there in their bottom of the 5th inning. And they batted around. So it's supposed to be number 16, Carissa Garcia, coming up first to the bat. Hobbs needing to get those runs. They're running out of time, so they've got to get some more runs across the plate if they can get it here in this at-bat. So we'll start with no outs, bottom of the 6th. 15-7 your score right now. Artesia leading. And I think that's still number 10 out there on the mound for Artesia. Martinez still. Yep, number 16, Carissa Garcia. All right. Garcia at the plate. She hit an infield single and scored her last time up for Hobbs. Struck out, hit a solo homer her first time at the plate this game. First pitch to her is going to be outside, low and outside for ball number 1. 1-0 the count. As the Lady Eagles making some noise in the dugout. They're trying to get their energy up, trying to inspire every batter at the plate to get on base, move them around, get some runs in. Garcia is certainly capable. And that's going to be a ball. So 2-0 is the count. 2-0 the count on Garcia. And a grounder, a chopper hit over to Crandall at third base. Throw is kind of high, but Apodaca goes upstairs, hangs on to it for out number 1. So Garcia grounds out to the third baseman for out number 1, brings up number 1, Edith Chavez, your right fielder, to the plate.
Now batting the right fielder, number 1, Edith Chavez.
Chavez struck out her last time at bat. She walked. She has struck out twice and walked once. So she is 0 for 3. She hits this one, a little weak grounder over, rolls foul along the third baseline. So strike 1 on Chavez, who is due. Hobbs needing to ignite here in this at-bat. Get some runners on, move them around if they have any hope of catching Artesia before the end of this one. 15-7 your score. Oh, swing and a miss as Chavez chases a little outside. Martinez taking a little speed off of that, throwing up a little changeup. Just looked too tempting to pass up for Chavez. Brings the heat on this one, but can't bring it in across the plate. So outside for ball number 2. Oh, nope. Whoa, okay. He did say that she caught the outside corner. That wasn't how I saw it, but I'm not the person who calls the balls and the strikes to begin with. I only repeat what the umpire says, and now that was a ball. It brings the count 2-2 to even things up. But I knew it was close. It was close to the corner. Ump said it was on the corner. And that is how we roll. That's going to be low and inside. Ball number 3 runs the count full. So Chavez hoping to either get a hit or work the walk, get on base for Hobbs. They trail by 8. Bottom of the 6th inning. It's do or die time. They've got one more at bat. And a weakly hit ball over to third base. Whoa. That came very close to being safe because the throw was high and it pulled Apodaca off the bag, but she landed in time to get her foot on it before Chavez crossed. So she was thrown out. Again, 5-3 for the second out. Crandall has a bullet of an arm, and it threatened to sail over Apodaca's head. Instead, that's out number 2. And we have a fresh batter. That is number 5, Kylie Ralston, center fielder, up to the plate for Hobbs. She's a left-handed batter. The first ball comes across the plate. It is a strike. 0-1 is the count. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Hobbs trailing by 8. Oh, nice pitch by Martinez. She brings it right over the plate. Took a little speed off of it. Ralston was in front of it for strike number 2. So 0-2 is the count. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. No runners on. 2 ground outs to third base, back to back. And now a strikeout for the 3rd out. Hobbs goes up. That's the fewest. That was 3, 6, 8, 10 pitches in that 10 pitches in that at bat. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And that means we go to the top of the 7th inning. Artesia leading 15-7. We'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagle softball from the Hobbs field on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagles softball. As the Lady Eagles are back out in the field, there's a hit, and it looked like it was heading for center field, but I tell you what, Cantu made some nice moves from shortstop and ended up hustling over and catches it behind second base for the first out. So Zoe Warren hit the first pitch she saw and ended up flying out to position 6, your shortstop for the first out. Number 15, Bubba Aguilar, the catcher, up to the plate. Here we are in the top of the 7th inning as the Hobbs ladies are trailing Artesia 15-7. What they want to do, I heard some of the Hobbs faithful yelling from the stand saying, okay, ladies, 3 up, 3 down, and then get back in the dugout, let's go. And that's what Hobbs would like to see. They're a third of the way there. Aguilar cuts at the second pitch, fouls it away off to the right. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 out, 1-1, nobody on base. Top of the 7th inning. Lady Eagles want to get out of this top of the inning as quickly as they can. Medina sends that one a little high and outside. So Medina now 2-1 the count. A smack, a high fly ball. Oh, and it's just out of play. I thought Chavez had it. I thought it was drifting over. Chavez had to run to her right to get it and just fell outside the right field fence. But another home run by Artesia. A solo homer by Aguilar. And that puts another run on the board for Artesia. It's 16-7 now. It's an amazing home run display that they have put on today. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the 7th home run by Artesia in this game. So still 1 out. KJ Ray up to bat. And that pitch comes in. It's going to be low. So 1-1 your count. 1 out. Nobody on base after that solo homer by Aguilar. KJ Ray at the bat. She cuts at that one, fouls it. Strike 2, 1-2. Hobbs ladies, of course, still wanting to get outs number 2 and 3 as quickly as they can. They now trail by 9. 16-7 your score. As I adjust the scoreboard, the score bug you see there on the screen. And a swing and a high pop fly. It's trouble. Oh, but making a catch and hanging on to it. That was trouble as Boyle rolled out and ended up catching that over there in left field, almost to the foul line. So nice catch, and I think there's glue in her glove because she managed to hang on to that. That was an amazing catch. So a pop fly to 4 for the 2nd out. First pitch she sees, she tries to send it out. It's going to be a Texas leaguer. It's going to fall out there in shallow left field, kind of between left and center. Ralston comes over from center, and a good play. She's going to keep Martinez over on first. So that was Martinez at the bat. She hit the first pitch she saw. It's going to be a single. Going to put her on first. And number 11, Kylie Morian, is at bat now. Still, there are 2 outs. And a little line drive shot, a little infield pop over to Cantu, who catches that. So a little fly out to the shortstop for the 3rd out is going to send Artesia back out on the field. And it's going to send Hobbs to the dugout. It's their last shot to try to score 9 runs, at least tie this one up, because they trail 16-7 heading into the bottom of the 7th. We'll be back with more Hobbs and Lady Eagle softball on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. And welcome back to Hobbs Lady Eagle Softball. I'm Dawn Morgan. Hobbs coming up to bat. This is the bottom of the 7th inning, and this is their last chance to be able to put some runs on the board and at least tie this game to extend it or to get 10 runs and win it. So 16-7 is your score. Bottom of the 7th. Number 20, Anaya Rodriguez, the catcher for Hobbs, is up at the plate. First pitch is in, and it's going to be a ball. So Hobbs has to be really aggressive. They just have to give it everything they've got in this at-bat. They have to be smart, but they have to be aggressive. So 1-0 is the count on Rodriguez. And a swing and a miss. 1-1 the count now. Rodriguez had an RBI single her last time up the plate. She had a walk and ended up crossing the plate her first time up. And she had a long fly out to right field her second time at the plate. This is her 4th plate appearance. And 2 balls now. 2-1 the count. So she is 1 for 3 at the plate today. She is the first batter up for Hobbs, trying to get a rally started. And she swings and catches just a piece of it. So that'll be a strike. 2-2 is your count. Artesia has put on a hitting clinic here today. Artesia has hit 7 home runs in this game in their at-bat. In their 7 at-bats, they have hit 7 home runs. And it's been pretty impressive. And a swing and a sharply hit ball between first and second. A nice hot grounder is going to put Rodriguez on first. So she starts it off for Hobbs, does her job, gets on with a single. Now it's up to her teammates to batter around, put some more runs on that board. Hobbs has this at-bat to do it. It's do or die time for sure for Hobbs. If they come up short, they are going to lose this game. But that's not what they want to do. They want to come away a winner. Certainly Coach Crossland knows that his girls are capable of it. They have scored. They have put that many runs on the board against opponents this season. So they're capable of having the kind of at-bat they need to either tie or win this. Number 15, Lexi Martinez up at the plate for Hobbs. She came in. Oh, and there's another hot shot, just out of reach of the first baseman. Martinez hit the first pitch she saw, a sizzling line drive out to right field, and that's going to put her on and move Martinez. That puts Martinez on, moves Rodriguez over to second. So 2 hits back to back. Hobbs doing exactly what they need to do. Smack that ball, get on base, now bring them around and cross the plate. So we have fresh batter, no outs. First pitch in, and it's going to be a ball. So Cammie Bennett at the plate, batting in place of Angel Jimenez. She batted last time up. This is her second plate appearance. Runners at first and second for Hobbs, no outs, bottom of the 7th. Bennett swings and tips it back, fouls it off to the left. So 1-1 is your count. 16-7 your score. Artesia leading. Hobbs has got to get the job done right here in this at-bat. Not a huge crowd here today, but certainly a number of fans in the stands for both Hobbs and Artesia. 2-1 the count now. 2-1 on Bennett. Martinez on the mound in relief of Crandall. A swing and a fly. It may be a Texas leaguer. It's going to fall in, and it's going to score at least 1. And the throw over to third base is bad, but they do get the runner going to third. That not before that 2-run score. So 2 runs in. And that's going to score Rodriguez. And then Jimenez or Martinez gets thrown out trying to take third. So on the throw, and Bennett
Now batting
has
number
a
13,
single,
Kaya
and she
Boyle.
moved over to second on the throw on that single fly to right field. So Bennett stands on second now. Martinez was thrown out. Rodriguez scored, and Kaya Boyle is at bat for Hobbs, top of the order, with 1 out. And the count is 1-1. So 1 out, 1-1 the count on Boyle, your leadoff hitter for Hobbs, top of the order. Oh, and that pitch is going to be just a little low and outside, 2-1, as Boyle gave it a hard look. It was a changeup. Martinez took a lot of speed off of that, and it just came in a little bit low over the plate. So 2-1 on Boyle. Runner in scoring position for Hobbs. Boyle, swing and foul. So 2-2 the count now. 1 out. 2 have crossed the plate. Hobbs is capable of keeping this at-bat going. Artesia has put on a hitting clinic today, but Hobbs is no slouch at the bat. They are very strong offensively and very strong in their fielding. And a bad pitch really is going to be a low, and that's really not a wild pitch necessarily, but it was a bad pitch, and that allowed Bennett to move over to third base. So Bennett moves over on that pass ball. Boyle at the plate. 3-2 count on her. Oh, a call strike. Oh, that hurts. Call strike. Boyle strikes out. Oh, and that's a tough one. So 2 outs now. Hobbs down to their final out. But they do have a runner on third. And Marissa Young up to the bat. She swings, fouls it back. I will say Hobbs stepping up, they're not afraid to swing that bat. They're not afraid to get there, and that's what you want to see. A team that just leaves a bat on their shoulder, you're not going to be able to do much, but Hobbs not afraid to swing the bat, and more than not, they at least catch a piece of it, as she does. So 0-1 the count, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning, do or die time for Hobbs. A nice hit ball is going to be a hit, a single, and it's going to be an RBI single for Marissa Young. Does what she's supposed to do. So RBI single for Young. And that brings in Bennett across the plate. So Hobbs scores another one. And here they go. So Cantu will be up to the plate. So Young is on first. After hitting that RBI single, Cantu takes a crack at it, hits it with the end of her bat, and it is fouled off to the right out of play for a strike number 1. As Hobbs keeping their at-bat going, they've got 2 outs, but there is nothing to say that they cannot keep their at-bat going and keep those runs across the plate. They have eaten into that Artesia lead, 16-9 now. And that's going to be low and inside for ball number 1. So count is even on Cantu, 1-1. Cantu reached on a fielder's choice her last time, got stranded on first. She is 0 for 4 and due. And that's going to come in, float right across the inside of the plate for strike number 2. 1-2. Hobbs down to their last strike here. Nothing says that Cantu can't keep the inning going, though. with a hit or a walk as that ball misses outside. Oh, and it was a call. Strike 3. I thought that was a miss, but the ump took his time bringing up the hand and indicated that hit the outside corner for the strikeout, and that ends the game. So Cantu with a strikeout. That's the third out. Hobbs does manage to get 2 runs across the board in that at-bat, but they lose this one 16-9. Final score here, 16-9. Artesia wins. We'll be back to wrap this one up in just a couple of minutes here as we enjoy more Lady Eagle softball. The end of this one, the wrap-up coming up in just a couple of minutes from the field here in Hobbs on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. And welcome back as we wrap this one up from the Hobbs softball field. The Lady Eagles beaten by Artesia Lady Bulldogs 16-9, your final score. And here is how we got there. Artesia scored 16 runs on 16 hits. 7 of them were home runs. They left 7 on base. And I did not catch those the errors that were committed. I think they had 3 errors. So there were 3 errors, 3 apiece. So 3 errors for Hobbs, 3 errors for Artesia. But 16 runs, 7 of them home runs, 7 left on base, and they commit 3 errors. For Hobbs, they have 9 runs on 11 hits. They left 9 on base, and they commit 3 errors. And Hobbs also had, let's see, they had a solo homer. Garcia had a solo homer in this game. So one of those hits was a home run by Hobbs. 7 home runs for Artesia in this one. But still, Hobbs put 9 runs on the board, just not enough for a very aggressive Lady Bulldog team from Artesia. You had 2 pitchers in for Artesia. Crandall started, and Martinez came in at relief. And for Hobbs, Boyle started. Medina came in relief. So that's the story here as Hobbs loses this one again. Your final score was 16-9. And thank you for listening and watching as Hobbs will simply put this behind them. And they came up just a little too short. They never gave up, and they ended up scoring in 3 of their innings, 3 of their at-bats. They put runs on the board. That was not enough for the very aggressive Artesia team as they scored in the 1st, 3rd, 4th, 6th, and 7th innings. I'm Dawn Morgan as we say good luck to the Hobbs Lady Eagles in their next game under Coach Crossland, and the Lady Bulldogs will go back to Artesia with one more victory under their belt and another W in their win column, another notch there. So I'm Dawn Morgan. Thanks very much for watching and listening on HobbsAmerica.com and Hobbs Sports YouTube. Good night, everybody.